and welcome to NS Talks Games. This is the channel where we will be talking about a variety of topics regarding gaming, and for today I want to talk about my experience with the Xbox Series S. First of all, I have to say this is not going to be a technical analysis or a video about some facts and figures. No, this is more a straightforward video where I will just tell you how I feel about the Xbox Series S after using it for over a year. And it will be a more subjective approach without going too much into technical details or what the console can offer you in that regard. So let's just start with the first aspect that I want to, or to be more precise, let me just start how I decided to buy the Xbox Series S. Well, I bought it on December 2020, basically pretty early after release, and I was up until then, I was more the Nintendo and PlayStation type of player because I always enjoyed gaming franchises like Super Mario, Pokemon, or the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And back in the day, or still, you can't play those games on. You can't play Super Mario on the Xbox, or back in the day you couldn't play Metal Gear Solid on the Xbox. And that's why as a teenager or when I was younger, I felt like more loyal to those consoles, or I just wanted to stick to the consoles where I was feeling more familiar with. Yeah, that's that basically. And after a while, when I was watching some Twitch streams, or when I was watching some YouTube videos, and in order to discover new games, because I just don't like playing games. I also love watching gaming content, watching people who play games, because I just enjoy gaming in general. It doesn't matter if I'm actively playing or I'm on the passive side. So, and whenever I was watching a YouTube video or a Twitch stream, then every now and then I would find a game that I found interesting, and then at the end I would always hear, yeah, well, the game is also available on Game Pass, and then I discover another game or another video where someone plays that specific game, and at the end I would always hear, yeah, this game is also available on Game Pass. And after a while I was being more and more aware of the Xbox console, of Game Pass, of the Xbox ecosystem. And then we had the release of the new gen consoles, of the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. And yeah, that was the point where I thought, like, well, why not give it a try? Why not trying out the Series S? And I bought it, and yeah, this is the reason how I ended up with my Xbox Series S. And yeah, I mentioned Game Pass. Game Pass is probably one of the best deals in the gaming industry right now. And yeah, we have to say that the Xbox Series S is a digital-only console, but with Game Pass, this is not a huge deal not a big deal for me. Because with Game Pass I have access to over 100 games, and I also have the Game Pass Ultimate subscription. With the Ultimate subscription, I'm also able to play the games from the EA catalog, where you also have lots of great games. So yeah, Game Pass offers you a variety of games from lots of different genres. I am someone who loves to play indie games. I do enjoy those type of games from smaller developers, but there's so many unique things when you play indie games, but I also love AAA games, and you also have those type of games as well on the Xbox Game Pass. And but also there are lots of different genres represented in the Game Pass catalog. For instance, if you love fighting games, you have lots of cool fighting games like Mortal Kombat, Injustice, or lots of more that I don't have on my mind right now. But also different shooters, different shooters, or sports games, or JRPGs. There's also a huge investment into that direction. Lots of Japanese games that are available on Game Pass. But also, if you're more the competitive type of player, then you have lots of online games available on Game Pass. At the same time, if you prefer to play a story-driven game, yeah, you can go with that. So there's lots of variety, lots of options that you have, and so far I enjoyed lots of different games on my Series S. And yeah, I have to say, I also had some instances where I I installed a game and started playing it, and then I felt like, this game is actually not really my cup of tea, and then I just deinstalled it, and it was okay. Oh, there's a heavy storm going out there. Hallelujah. Anyways, that was a distracting factor. Now, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, I also had a game that I didn't like so much, but yeah, that's the beauty of Game Pass. Yeah, that's the beauty of Game Pass. You can try out different games. You can have fun with lots of games, and whether you like it or not, it's not a problem, because you can just stick to it if you like the game, if you enjoy it. And if you don't like it, yeah, you can just get rid of it and then focus on some other games that the catalog is offering you. Yeah, that's that. Let me see what I have prepared so far. Yeah, and also worth mentioning that there's always a circulation of new games. Every month you get new games on Game Pass, and once at the beginning of the month you get an announcement of the games that are going to release on Game Pass, that are added to the catalog, and then in the middle of the month you get another announcement where they tell you these games will be added over the course of the month into Game Pass. And that's another aspect that I like about the Xbox Series S with Game Pass, that you always have this excitement every month or within the month. Always this curiosity, okay, what's going to come to Game Pass now, this month, or after 2 weeks. So it's always this positive little excitement that you have. And of course, the Microsoft games, the games that are developed by Microsoft, are always going to release day one. We had that in the past with games like Halo Infinite or Forza Horizon 5. Those games were available day one on Xbox Game Pass, and those games had a huge impact so far. And of course, Halo and Forza are beloved franchises, so no wonder. And it's even a better thing when you can have access to those games day one without having to spend $60-70 in order to play those games. Let me have another look on my notes. And after the acquisitions, we had some acquisitions like Bethesda, the acquisition of Bethesda and Activision Blizzard. this is also a clear indicator that we will get more and more games in the future for Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, so far so good, and yeah, all in all, I can say that Xbox is basically the best deal of gaming. Another thing that is worth mentioning is the perks section. Just a small detail, just a small aspect, but I also enjoyed that aspect a lot. When you go on to the Game Pass app, there is a little section called perks, and if you, every now and then, if you have a look on the perks section, you will realize that you will get certain things for free after playing games on Game Pass, and after achieving you will achieve different things. I actually don't really know how this is working out, but I know it's related to playing games and achieving things. And then I saw things like, you can have a free trial for a streaming service like Disney Plus or Crunchyroll, and then I saw like, Crunchyroll free trial for 75 days, and I thought, I love animes, and yeah, why not give it a try for free? I'm trying out Crunchyroll for 75 days now, without paying anything, which is also pretty amazing. Yeah, as mentioned before, this is a digital-only console, and so if you are not playing games on Game Pass, the only way to get games, to purchase games, is via the Microsoft Store, and that's the only way how you can buy games. And yeah, as you know, there's no disk drive with the Series S. So if you want to buy a game, you can't buy physical copies with this console. But my experience was like, if there was a must-have game that I really, really had to play right after release, it was okay to spend 60 or 70 bucks every now and then, if there was really a game that I really, really wanted to play. And I think when I think about it, there were only 2 games that I directly bought right after release, and that was the case with Cyberpunk and with FIFA 22. So other than that, I mostly played my games via Game Pass, or I just had a look on the Microsoft Store and grabbed a game when there was a huge discount, because every now and then you have your discounts there and you can grab some games for a very cheap price. So it's not a huge negative aspect for me, the fact that you can only get your games via the digital store. Yeah. Another thing that is worth mentioning is the backwards compatibility, which is really amazing on the Series S, because let me give you one example with the Metal Gear Solid games. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid, or franchises like GTA 4 or Red Dead Redemption, the first Red Dead Redemption. And when I was browsing on the Microsoft Store, I saw a discount for the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I thought, like, yeah, why not grab it? Why not get it there and just have some fun, because the backwards compatibility is huge on the Xbox console. And also, on Game Pass, you have all the games like Gears of War, the first Gears of War. I haven't played those games, and I can just access Game Pass and just start with Gears of War, the first game, and have some fun. Or, I don't know, you have games like Crysis, or lots of games that have released way back in the past, but you are able to have access to lots of older games. Yeah, and there's also a lot of negativity regarding the Xbox Series S in terms of, yeah, many people say this console is not future proof. It is in some aspects it's inferior, and it doesn't really have a place in this generation. So after some time, no one will pay attention to this console. Those type of arguments that you hear. But I have to say that no one can clearly say anything in terms of how something will develop over the course of time. We all have to wait and see what's going to happen, because if there are so many people out there who have this ability of making a foresight for certain devices, then I'm sure Microsoft or other companies would hire them and pay them to make these predictions. But no, these are just some. I don't say that these opinions are 100% wrong, or no, but it's just it makes the console a little bit underrated, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you expect from the console. From my perspective, I don't always have to have the most expensive device, or having the best graphics, or having the most storage, or whatsoever, all the additions. I don't have to have that. So at the end of the day, you play a game because you love its gameplay aspects or its mechanics, and it's not just about the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are definitely having some aspects that are better or more improved than the Series S. But my experience was, I never had the feeling that I would play something. My gaming experience was never feeling inferior. I never had the feeling that I'm playing on a bad console. Even when I played on Game Pass games like Hellblade, it was just amazing to see how beautiful the graphics were on that game with my Series S, or also the new generation games like Forza Horizon 5 or Halo Infinite, or games like Cyberpunk. It looks beautiful. It looks really beautiful on the Series S. So, and then the gameplay is also important. So, yeah, for me, this was not a big issue at all. I never had the feeling that I would play on a bad console. It's basically also with another, like, I don't know, some people have to have the fastest car, or the newest phone that is on the market, and it's not like older phones or other cars won't give you a great experience. It's at the end of the day, it's all about what you want to do with that specific product. Yeah, my final thoughts towards the end of the video. The Xbox Series S was the console that introduced me to the Xbox ecosystem, and Game Pass allowed me to try out different games, lots of different games, and I never felt like I was having a bad gaming experience so far after 1 year, or it was never like, I'm not enjoying my gaming experience on this console. So far, I have no regrets. It is a beautiful device. It is an underrated device, I can tell you that. And yeah, maybe you have a similar approach for gaming, and if that's the case, you will definitely have a great time with the Xbox Series S. Yeah, and that's it for today for today's content. I hope you enjoyed it. This was my first video. I will and yeah, I hope to see you again on my next video. Until then, enjoy gaming.